writing vlog. It's been a minute, and that's because I've honestly been in such a slump, probably the biggest one since starting my book back in November. I feel like I've been having just a total block with writing, and every morning I try to write for an hour to work on my book, and lately, the past week, maybe even the past weeks, I've just been stuck in this thinking and structuring phase, and I'm not making any real progress. So I really need to find a way to break out of this and actually start moving forwards, because I feel stuck and it's driving me crazy. This is my first time that I'd say I'm really struggling with writer's block. So I've looked up some ways to overcome it, and in this vlog I'll be trying a bunch of them out, and hopefully that will help. But first things first, what is writer's block? I saw someone describe it as the anxiety you feel of not living up to your expectations. So it's when you want to write well, but you're afraid of writing poorly. And this is something I saw Dan Harmon talk about, which I thought really resonated and was pretty funny. And I'll read you a bit of the quote from him. He said, "My best advice about writer's block is the reason you're having a hard time writing is because of a conflict between the goal of writing well and the fear of writing badly. By default, our instinct is to conquer the fear, but our feelings are much, much less within our control than the goals we set. And since it's the conflict between the two forces blocking you, if you simply change your goal from writing well to writing badly, you will be a veritable fountain of material." And obviously I've left out a few words in this quote just because I didn't think they're appropriate for this channel. But he's basically saying that writer's block comes from being afraid of not being good enough in your writing, and that instead you should embrace this. You should prove to yourself that your writing is bad by just putting it down on paper, and then you want to listen to your inner critic and actually look at it and look at what is bad, and through going over it again and again, this is how you actually start to improve it. Because even though you're doubting yourself now, you should trust that you're able to spot what's wrong with it, and this is actually what will help you become better. So write badly, just get it down on paper, and then start picking apart what's wrong with it. And this is how you eventually write well, or at least better than before. I really like this because I find the whole mentality of do it badly or do it stupid really reassuring, because it's okay, and I keep having to remind myself that when I'm a beginner at things, I'm not going to be good at them, and that's not in any way something that's negative. It's not a bad thing. It's just when you start something new, when you're learning something, you're probably not going to be any good at it. And trying to remove all kind of shame from that and accepting that only through a lot of practice will I get better. So one of the pieces of advice I saw for overcoming writer's block is to just write anything in order to get back into the flow. Although the book I'm writing is a nonfiction book, I'm currently on my second draft for it, and it's been slow, but that's all right. For today, I actually want to work on a different story. I've been writing a fictional story just for fun, just for myself, and as a way to actually practice my writing. With this, I have a rule for myself that I only write one chapter at a time, and when I finish a chapter, I'm not allowed to go back and change anything about it. And this has been really helpful because it means that when I'm working on the chapter in front of me, I can actually really focus on specific things I want to practice or improve, whether that's dialogue, characterization, or writing scenes with action and suspense. I can be a lot more targeted in what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll be able to one day compare my first chapter to maybe the 50th chapter and actually notice an improvement or a difference in my writing. Even though this is something I've only recently started and I've been trying to do one chapter a week, I've dropped it and not worked on it for over 2 weeks. So today, this is a story I'll be using to just get back into writing and hopefully build some momentum with this. And I'm going to start a new chapter, make an outline, and just get down 500 words before I do anything else. So let's get started. Hey, so it's 2 o'clock now. I got a few words down, which is good because my goal was only to get started, to get the ball rolling, and now I am going to head out and grab a little bite for lunch, and I'll take you along with me. So I just had a little pastry for lunch, and I also on my way stopped by the store and grabbed a few things to try to change up my writing environment, because that's one of the things I've seen people talk about, finding little ways to just clear or reorganize your space, maybe make it more comfortable. I have a few things I picked up. The first is just this little candle. It smells really nice and sweet, and the one I currently have is almost empty. So I really like the routine of having a candle going while I write. I think it's very calming and nice. And then if you've seen any of my other vlogs, you'll know that I really love sweeties, and I like to use them as rewards for myself. So I have a pack of Mawams. These are one of my favorites. And I also have some bubblegum chewing gum, because I think this is better than hard candy, which I have a whole jar full of, and usually I always like to have little candies like this while I write, but I'm worried about my teeth, so I'm gonna switch to gum for a while. So I'm going to go back to doing some writing, and one of the tips I saw is also working in Pomodoros, and I think this will help. I hope it will help me focus, because I know that the writing challenge I did was really great for me because I was writing in these 1 hour blocks. I knew that this is all the time I had to get my words down, and then it restarts for the next hour. So that actually really helped me be a lot more productive. I'm going to try that now, instead of an hour doing 25-minute writing sessions and then a 5-minute break, and see if I can reach my word count. So today was actually a lot of fun writing. I wrote about 2,000 words, which really isn't much if you consider that this is my do it badly version. But I feel like I was able to get into a bit of a flow, and I'll probably stick at it and do some more later tonight. I do feel a bit better about it all. What really helped me is trying to keep the mindset that I can just write down what comes to mind and what I mean to say and trust that I can come back later to improve it. But I also think this is where I'm stuck with my book because I'm on my second draft and working on improving it. So I feel like for every line, every section I'm working on, if I'm not doing it better than before, then what's the point? So I worry that I can't really improve it and I can't get it to the point that I want it to be. And even just thinking about this right now, I'm feeling so much resistance in myself and I want to just avoid it completely, not deal with it, but I know I need to, but I'm also not quite sure how to go about that and how to, once you have a draft as your basis, how to bring it from here to there in actually doable steps. So if this is something you felt while writing or have any advice for, please let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's little writing vlog, and thank you guys so much for all the support. It really means a lot to me and I appreciate it. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.